But I think there is a lot of idiots online, and they really prove my point of being idiots in the way they interact with women. And I'm sure you, as someone who expose yourself, in social media, with your open heart and your opinions and all that, get a lot of comments that are not that pleasant. So I would be interested in how do you handle these idiotic comments as a woman?
Oh my God. I mean, at the very beginning, it was difficult because I would read it and would be emotional about all of the comments I was getting. I was like, God, so disrespectful, God. And then I understood one thing, that the truth, it's something absolute. There is something like absolute truth about things. The only thing you can be sure about is yourself. Yeah. So if I'm thinking like this, if I'm preaching, I really believe that what I'm preaching on my social media, now more than at the very beginning, because on my YouTube videos, the one that I recorded like 4 years ago, I was a little bit different person, yeah? But the truth that I'm having right now on Instagram, I feel like I'm doing this with love. I'm trying to be as much authentic as I can. And when I read some of the comments, now it's like, okay, that's interesting. And I send people love. I send you love. Sometimes I respond to some comments, of course, yeah, some very offensive ones. But I say like, oh, you must not have loved yourself much to write such a things, yeah? Or I explain things. And also because I preach things on Instagram. So I'm kind of very open, not that open, but like, I know that it's a consequence, yeah? If you preach something and you're very open and honest with your opinion, you would always get some comments. If I say like, man should be the provider, yes? Man should be ambitious. Man is not to sit on a sofa and say, oh, how am I going to bring money to my family? If you want to have money, you need, if you want to have family, you need money. And those are like things that I preach, and poor man gets offended, like, oh my God, yes. And they write a lot of funny comments, but I believe that the poverty comes from here as well, yes. Yeah. So I really get, sometimes I even play with that comments, like, God forgive me, but do it. Like, let me make a little comment here. But I don't feel hurt anymore. Like hurt, like in the past, I'm like, yeah, and you watch me anyway, yeah. You write him every comment under every single my video. You must be loving me, really, yeah, rather than hating, yeah. And I believe that when we speak to people and they hear something they dislike, they get offended.
Yes.
Nothing hurts more than that, yeah. Like I've heard it because I also hear a lot of things on the internet, like, okay, Rita, you have to improve, you have to be a better person, you have to read more, yeah. But yeah,
I would say, like, when you posted that one on men should provide, and they are in charge of the table or of the financials and all that. All the guys that were upset about that comment are just losers. And I'm sorry if I'm like strong language. There was no guy who is all together. There's no like real alpha man who was upset by that comment, because he knows that it's not towards him.
Vito, imagine that there is a man who says like this. I say, if you invite me to a restaurant, you pay the bill. Not because I am the woman who needs your money. No, because you invited me. You are a man. The bill is 100 reais. And you divided it into like you and the woman. I said, what kind of man are you? And I said to girls, ran away. A real man in his, in his energy, he's not going to talk about 100 reais bill. Yes. We're not talking about sharing an apartment that costs 1 million in Brazil. Yeah. We talk about little bill. It's like, and people get offended. I say like, God, where is man? Yeah. And then people complain, women are very like masculine, but you know why are we masculine? Because we don't have a man next to us who can support us. Of course, I always will be in my masculine energy if I have to work, go there, do business, get money. Yes. Like sign some contract. I have to be in my masculine energy because no one would respect me. But if I come back home and I'm with a man who is in his feminine energy 24 hours a day, I can't be in my feminine energy. That's why today you see these women who says like, oh, we're against men. But it's not that. They just haven't found a man with whom they can feel safe and they can drop into their feminine energy. I came home, I feel safe, he loves me, he can deal with things. Financials, people can discuss. right? But
Yes.
if a man is poor, it's true, and a woman is getting more money, unfortunately, women, we don't respect men that earns less than us. I know a lot of people would get offended. Why? Because the power of men, it's also the power of having money. Not you paying my jewelry or paying my things, but like, it gives you security. So what, he cannot get more money? I have to get more money, and then I have to pay more bills in the house. And women, real women who don't see their men like, wow, this guy, I don't admire you. I don't love you anymore. I don't love you if I don't admire you.
It's a matter of time. Like this guy is going to be cheated sooner or later. We all know that. And there's no. Yeah, can you imagine the guy saying, "Yeah, yesterday I was at home with my wife or my girlfriend, and then there was some weirdo around the neighborhood, and she went out and took him away." Like no guy would be okay to say that to others,
Exactly.
Would never tell that on a podcast. So that tells that it's not the way how things operate. If he would go, he would tell everyone. He will make it public. She will be telling to her friends. It's just the way we operate. I think there is so much biology denial these days that is making the world messed up, either from men and from women. And then also, if a man is too masculine, it's seen as toxic. No, if you just,
of course, yes,
if you just step up, or you are just toxic. Right? There are some women, no, I am able to handle. Then some guys say, no, you know what? Yes. If I do something, I'm toxic. Then I don't care. I just sit and watch. Which is not fair, but sometimes it's the only response that some men have.
Yes, but Vito, imagine the same thing with cooking and cleaning. I will tell you the real truth. Is not that the women don't want to serve their men and say like, honey, I brought that cake for you. I made it. It's just because I have to take my money from my wallet to give the food that is on the table. This is the problem that we don't speak about, that it's from my money. There's electricity in the house. I paid this and that. And then you feel like, what? I'm working my ass off and I will be putting a meal for him. Because I will tell you, I say that like a joke. I say like, I will not serve a man. I will not serve a man that doesn't bring things to home and doesn't serve me as a woman. Why? I don't mind about cooking. Seriously, like making cake. I even like my son, when he comes visits me, I'm like, Mauricio, I made your favorite food. We women, we like it. But we don't like serving useless men. We just don't, we lose respect totally, right?
Yes, yeah. There's nothing less appealing than a useless man, that a man cannot fix anything.
This is normal, Vito. In our nature, it is normal that we look after our men. That is something that we really love. And honey, sit here. Let me bring the tea. It's in our nature. If women say it's not, they lie because they're scared. Yes. We love looking after men, saying, honey, I love you. You are the best. We love to admire them. Say like, honey, wait a second. Lie here. Let me bring your best meal, yeah? We like it. The man that deserves that.
Now that we're talking controversial topics, I'm going to add one more to the table just to ignite the internet. Like, I hate porn, okay? So I'm going to refer porn just as an example. I think porn is a toxic thing. I said that on the podcast. I think it messes up people's minds, but I'm just going to use it for this specific context, okay? Yes. I mean, I'm very open about it. I don't think it should be banned, but it should be very much regulated. That being said, I think there is this myth of the guy who goes home and is able to fix the pipes or is able to fix the wall, and the woman gets turned on by that. And it's no wonder why is it happening, but there's nothing more appealing than a man who is able to solve problems. Whether it's a financial problem, whether it's something technical, whether it's sorting out the electricity bill or sorting out the issue with the airline on the phone, but the man who is able to fix or to find a solution, that's appealing. It's no wonder why this is turning into some sexual activities in adult movies, because women like that. You can see even on women's body language, when the man is able to fix something, I can see like the women blushing, and or you come up with something that will help us find a way forward. It's appealing.
So, Vito, I love what you said. And let me add something to pornography. I believe that if you are in a relationship in which your man has a trouble with pornography, because it is an addiction, yes? And it's real for many relationships. You have to sit down with him and ask him, because I believe that men is a little bit unaware why they watch pornography.
Yeah.
Usually they hide it, right? They hide it till it gets out. And I believe that men, when they choose a woman for themselves, they have to also choose carefully. Because if you find, I really believe that, because I know a lot of people who has the right partner. Edita, I found this girl. Spiritually, we click. Yes. Emotionally, we click. She's respectful. I feel like our level of intelligence is very similar. They have very similar beliefs. Of course, there are always going to be some challenges. No one's perfect. If you click and those two people love each other and they want to live together, God, that's a huge commitment. And there is also a sexual commitment to it, right? Which you can talk with the partner, because why would you take the pleasure for something that disrespects your mother, your sister, your little daughter that is going to grow? Yes. Because you give her life, yeah? Why would you disrespect your wife for watching pornography, right? And I think that the man has to talk about it. I think that people should be very open about it, not to be scared, like, oh my God, he watches pornography, he must be a bad guy. Sit with him, talk, try to understand, because maybe he doesn't even know. Maybe he has never had this chance to be listened, because women, unfortunately, we judge men. You are like this, you did that. Well, respect. Shut the fuck up and listen what he has to say. Because we come with this judgment. You did this, yeah? No, we should be like, honey, tell me about it. So you watch pornography. Okay, let's see it. I love you. I respect you. Maybe let's just go through it. Like, why is that? Is there something that I could be giving you in a different way? Yes. I really believe women have to also talk about it openly, and they should stop judging men as well.
Yeah, but I think the issue is that most guys will just say, "Oh, because all my friends are watching it," which is not
no. I talk about
that's not a reason.
Honest conversation. No.
Yeah, that's what most guys will say, because John is watching, because Joe is watching, and that guy and the other. But that goes back to what we were saying on the beginning of this conversation. If people are going where everyone is going, maybe they're not going the right way.
Not going anywhere then.
Yes.
Yeah, then the woman has to think about her choice, because no one has an obligation to be nowhere. Yes. I have a choice. So if I see that I'm with someone who is unaware, unconscious about him or herself, I would be out.
Yeah, like, a zombie, what I would call a zombie. I think there's nothing more ugly than someone that doesn't know what they are doing. Like, I have more respect for someone doing something I don't agree with than someone who is just going randomly on things. At least the other person took the time to make a decision. I might not be on board with their ideas, but that's fine, because I have more compassion for someone who took the time to think it through. Okay, they make up their minds, not exactly how I see things, but that's a path. But someone who is just fooling around, it's almost like a child, no? And there's nothing uglier than an adult behaving like children.